What's going on, guys? This is the review of the Puma Fuse 4.0. Puma just dropped their latest model for the fuses. This is their 4.0. I have still 3.0 model from last year, and I have that for comparability, but there's not a lot of changes when it comes to the new design of the model. The big thing is that they have this new 3D layer coming out on the side panel and the toe box called their paw print, I think it's called, or their Puma print, whichever one that is. They're claiming that this here helps with the durability of the shoe and also helps with the flexibility and just the overall functionality of the shoe. That's the difference between this and last year's model. Last year's model that I have right here does not have any of that 3D layer on the top of the shoe. The 3.0 model has just a mesh that goes all around the shoe. Also, the vector of the shoe, the Puma logo is out here. It's a different material, more like a leathery type feeling of the logo, while the other one had more of a fabric on the logo as well. When it comes to the tongue, that is also the big difference. It is more of a cushiony tongue here, while the 3.0 model had like more of a thin model that a lot of people did complain about. So I'm glad they changed that. Also, the cushion around the ankle support is way better and definitely feels a little more sturdy. The heel is slightly different as well, only because the 3.0 has the heel tab, and the 4.0, the new one, doesn't have that, but you can see that the TPU is this. You can also see that the Puma grip on the shoe, on the side panels here, are the same height, same length. That helps that with grip for rope climbers and things of that. And you can see that the outsole has the same pattern, has the same platform built into the shoe. So overall, not a lot of big changes in the shoe, not a lot of differences as much when it comes to just the outside of the shoe and the tongue, and a little bit more cushion in the heel. So let's talk about how the shoe performs when it comes to lifting. So when it comes to specific CrossFit, such as Olympic style lifting, clean and jerk and snatches, I definitely felt like these shoes were super sturdy and catching all those Olympic lifts in the right positions. I don't feel like these shoes are too cushiony where you're going side to side when you catch in those positions. I definitely feel like this platform that they keep putting in the fuses is super good, super sturdy, super connected to the ground when you catch and when you're trying to get good positions. I definitely feel like this is a good lifting shoe. When it comes to basic lifts, such as the squats, front squats, back squats, whatever lifts, benching, this shoe is also a good shoe to use that for. I definitely feel like I'm able to keep my heels connected to the ground as I'm squatting for high reps, heavy reps, things of that nature. This is a great shoe that you can feel, that feels more like a lifting shoe than a training shoe, if I had to pick which one it gears more towards, and that's just my opinion. When it comes to running is something that I would not do with this shoe at all. I ran 2 miles in the shoe just to give it a good test, right? See how my feet are gonna feel in a long run. I definitely feel uncomfortable in this shoe when it comes to the heaviness of the shoe. The toe box is not as bad as 3.0. The last year's model definitely felt super narrow, where I don't even have to tie my shoes to put my feet into here and have like a good grip. I really feel like I'm really stuck in there when it comes to my toes. When it comes to the elevated heel here, I definitely felt like I was on an incline when I'm wearing the 3.0s. This one is slightly different, so running in them is not as bad, but I still would not run in them. They also are super heavy. They are actually heavier than last year's model, which is pretty insane when you ask everybody who has it right now. I don't know how they can make it heavier, but they did, and you can definitely feel it in this shoe. When you're running, and I ran 2 miles like I said, you definitely felt the weight in this shoe as the run gets longer. I will say if I had to choose between which one I want to run in, it's definitely in these. But if I had to choose out of any other training shoe I have, I definitely choose any other training shoe except for besides these. So this is my shoe that I will not run in unless I really feel like I want to wear some type of Puma training shoe, and it's only like a 200-meter maximum at that, like maybe for 3 rounds. So not the best running shoe. When it comes to rope climb specifically, I will say this is a good rope climbing shoe. The grip here is super grippy. Like if you were to touch it right now, you feel like it is super grippy. And when I did rope climbs in it, I felt like I'm not sliding off the ropes at all. I feel like I'm doing really well with that. I feel like coming down is not bad too. So I would say that the grip on the side where it has the Puma grip and the grip on the outsole as well definitely helps with rope climbing a lot more than other training shoes. Would I choose this other than the drop set 3s? Probably not in rope climbing, but this is a good shoe that I will like look forward to pick on rope climbing WODs without running, obviously. As jumping, double unders, box jump overs, burpees, things of that. I will say that the shoe is super flexible in the toe box, and if that's because of the 3D print that's on the toe box, it definitely helps. Definitely more flexible than the 3.0s, and I thought the flexibility of the 3.0s wasn't bad either. It's just that it was like super flexible here and super hard here. You still get that, but way more flexible in the whole entire shoe instead of just one side really flexible and one side not so. You can even tell, like, as I bend this here, you hear that, and then you can hear that. So better shoe when it comes to burpees, double unders, box jump overs than the 3.0 than of last year's model. Definitely though, that in all those moves you can still feel the heaviness of the heel, and this is where the weight you feel the most. As you're jumping, doing double unders, as you're jumping on top of a box, you can definitely feel yourself landing on the box with this, or you can feel the weight when you're jumping, doing double unders. So overall, not a bad shoe for plyometric movements, especially when it comes to the flexibility of the toe box. But when it comes to the heaviness, how your feet feel, you will definitely feel it in all those movements as well. Overall, I do like the 4.0 model than last year's model. They did make some tweaks here and there that make me feel like it's a better shoe overall. However, the changes they made weren't the biggest thing that people were complaining about. When one being the weight of the shoe, it needed to be lighter. And then the second one being that this toe box here is still narrow. Now we're going into a whole world of like wider feet and like a bigger toe box and a bunch of training shoes. Again, I'm a big component of the Drop Set 3 from Adidas, and they are a super wide shoe still with a great platform inside. So I believe Puma did a good job in updating, but not the best job that they can do, and not tackling the things that they should have tackled, which would have been the weight of the shoe and the toe box wideness of it. I do feel like this is a good weightlifting shoe. I definitely feel like if I'm feeling the way it looks, I'm gonna wear that, but I'm gonna decide what day I'm gonna wear, like what workout, such as no running. Basically, I'm not gonna try to do like 500 double unders or jump roping, things of that. But if you ask me to do some lifting and a little bit of plyometric movements, I'm going to choose this shoe. I love the way it designs, the way it looks and the design of it. So overall, not my favorite training shoe of this year so far, but Puma is on the right track. So let's hope that the 5.0s are gonna have at least lighter shoes. That's all I have for you guys. I'll see you guys on the next one.